let's go to the red player. This would be, like I said, simultaneous. So let's start filling in. So we've got a yellow. We've got green and another yellow. All right, so that is refill launcher. So remember, we're still ignoring trace and roll. Now we need to program. So I would love to be able to get another XP, so I know that'll be helpful later. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Oh man, 4. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Okay. That will be reds. Let's go to blue. Got a refill. All right. Oh gosh. So we got blue, red, and another red. And the bag is empty. So let's see. Blue, green, yellow, red. Blue, green, yellow, red. So let's go 1. Remember, we have 4. 2, 3, 4. Let's just do that for now because we don't have any like protocols or anything, that we specifically that we need to do that with. Okay, cool. That is refill and program, upgrade. Blue doesn't have any way to upgrade. Red does have an experience. But we need 2 experience to do anything with. But it does have a memory. But there's not really a lot we can do with that, so we're going to not do anything with that. Yeah. And blue's the same way. I mean, I don't really have any like equip augments or anything to equip or anything like that, so we're just going to stick with what we're doing. Cool. That takes care of the main planning phase. Let's now do action where we could move. Now we have multiple moves, right? So actually, I think with the red player, we're going to go ahead and move. Get a move of 2. I think I'm going to move here. We ignore the trace. We're going to prepare 1 and program 1. So let's go to the red player. Prepare 1. It's going to be green. We can place it wherever we want. I'm going to put it here. And then we could program 1. Blue, green. Yeah, so we're going to do this for sure. Boom. That's going to get us a second XP by doing that. Sweet. So let's move and trace district effect launch. So again, we're going to launch this program here. And that's going to get us another XP. We can use yep, that's launch step. So that's red. Let's go to blue. Blue has a move of 2 as well. So I think what I'm going to do actually with blue is I'm going to go here. Move district effect. Well, no trace. Move trace, no trace. Distribute. I'm going to spend this reroll. I'm actually going to up this memory. That way, oh, sorry, I didn't show you that. Let me go back. So I spent the one reroll we had to up the memory. That way, if we want to do something later, we've got some memory to work with to install these modules. Then it's the launch step, right? So that's, again, move and trace, district effect launch. So we're going to launch this, get us another memory. We're going to launch the yellow. Do this. Oh, actually, you know what? Well, I didn't do it. It's too late to go back now. I should have dumped one of those and drawn some more stuff. So we got another yellow, another reroll. All right, or a reroll. I guess I say another reroll like we had one. We don't. All right, cool. Done. Now remember, during our launch step, oh, you know what? We can actually do this too. Might as well do that. So we're also going to launch this, right, which is a red and anything. So that's those two. And that's going to do 2 damage to RB. And they have those damage tokens that are fine. I think I'm just going to use some dice. So let's get. Oh wow, that's not a great die to use, is it? Maybe we'll use the tokens for now. Oh gosh. Yeah, they basically have 1s and 5s. So 2 damage on him during the launch steps. That's what that means. And actually, you know what? Let me go back over to red. I didn't even think about that. Red could do the same thing because I don't have a yellow and a red, but I have a red and, I don't have a red and a red. Never mind. Shoot. Okay. That sucks. That's the launch. Combat phase. Okay, so now we actually do combat. And we're going to do combat in turn order, so we're going to go back to red. So, the way combat works is, and again, I'm going to just go through this card, all right? But you have 2 dice. So, 1 die is a number die. So this tells you how many units are going to attack between 0 and 3. And then this die has the symbol. So this tells you on their sheet, are they going to use their normal attack or are they going to use their special attack? All right. So we roll these. And then we also roll our attack dice. We look at our body's attack value, which is currently 1. And then we can spend from our assets, if we want to, anything from here. So let's just go ahead. Might as well go all in. So we get 1, and then we're going to get 2 more for what we just spent. So we're going to roll all of these things together. Okay. So this is what we've got to work with. So we've got a 2, and then we've got the normal symbol. So the 2 would be if we had more than one enemy, the second enemy would attack first, and then the first enemy would attack. But since we only have 1, it just means that this is going to do it, and he's going to use this symbol, which means he's just going to do 2 damage. Okay? And then this is our attack. Now the way it works, so we can use 1 combat frame on our body. So a frame is this. So there's 2 frames here, right? There's that entry, there's that entry. So, and you'll notice there's a single symbol, and then this has like a circle around it. So we can spend as many of these as we want when we do that action. But this frame is just one and done. So once we use it in this combat, and they go, we can't use it again. And it's not per enemy, it's just per combat. So this whole combat phase, we can only use it once. But we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll put that there to note. Put this up here just so we remember. So if you use that, so that's going to do 2 damage. So that puts 2 damage. Oops. Gosh, I just threw a bunch of stuff in here, didn't I? 2 damage onto the scanner. All right. Then we resolve what he what he does. So he does 2 damage back to me. Now I've got shields, right? So I'm just going to use the shields to block it. Great. Resolve for the next turn, then move the enemy number 1. Yeah. So he went. So now he's going as much as he's going to go. So now basically I can go, as many times as I would want to go. But remember, I've already used this, right? So I can't use that again. But I can use this to just do a single point of damage. So that's what we're going to do. So he's going to stick around. Didn't quite kill him. So I've used all my dice that I can use. I don't have anything else that I can use during this. But you know what? I'm going to let him do damage to me. I'm going to keep the shields. I'm going to let him do damage to me. Because remember, when I lose any amount of health, deal that much damage back. So I'm going to take 2 hits. But I'm going to do 2 more damage to him instead of blocking. I forgot about that. So that's going to put 5 on him. And really what I'm doing is I'm just going to kind of make sure that I can get him killed pretty quick. And I'm going to go to get 2 reds in the launch step so that I can do that damage to him. All right, cool. So that takes care of that combat. We are donezo with that. So now we're going to go over to the blue player. He already has 2 on him, right? So that's good. We got a little bit of a head start there. That's crooked, and it's going to drive me nuts. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a number die and a symbol die. Our body has 1 die. Let's use 1, 2. We'll use 3. I don't know if we'll need some for later or not, but let's just go ahead and do it. Roll them up. All right. So cool. Well, sort of. Yeah, that kind of sucks. So you'll notice that I rolled a blank on the number. That means that this guy does not activate. I get to activate. So basically I can spend anything I want to spend. So we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Whoops. One of these does 2 damage. And then we only had one of these. Oh, wait. We have rerolls. Let's use a reroll on that blank. Yes. Okay. Cool. This is going to work out beautifully. So we use a reroll. Now we've got this as our, what we can use. So we're going to use 2 to do 2 more damage. And then because this doesn't go, we can just do this all at once. So we've got 2, and then both of these, that's 4. Added to the 2 he already has, that's 6. So this guy's defeated. All right. So he's going to be defeated. And when we defeat an enemy, we get an experience. Now, we do have the texture die that's left over, but there's nothing we can do with it. It's unfortunate. But at least this guy's defeated. Didn't do any damage to us either, which is great. As far as I know, at least with what I've seen, I don't see anything where you could help each other. So there may be some skills that let you do that later on, classes or faction augments or something like that, but that's not the case. All right, combat's done, so we check the world activity. No, does everybody not have an enemy attached? No, we still have one that does. So we're going to start again. There's no This basically what this section does is it's letting us just keep attacking until we can defeat them, but we don't have a time constraint. So we're going to go back to the beginning, right? Remember that's first player marker is going to change over to here. And then we get to go again. Right. Starting with the blue. Trace and roll. Sounds like duck and roll, doesn't it? All right, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Didn't have any to draw, so fill that up. All right, and start filling them in. So we got a red. We got blue. Oh, sorry, we got a red again. Oh, there's the blue. Okay. Another red. Wow, got way too many reds in here. Another yellow finally. And another red. Okay. Definitely need to get some more yellow in it. Programming. I think I'm going to try blue-green. I think I want to try to do some. I've already got a die in there, so let's just try to do some experience. So 1, 2, 3, right? Because we need it to be blue, green, yellow. 4. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So there you go. That is a red, blue player. So now let's go to the red player. Same thing. We're going to do the trace roll, which we don't have to do because we don't have any trace. We're going to refill the launcher. Blue. All right, and then my bag's out, so I'm going to take everything from the dump. Take it up. And we've got green, red, blue. Okay. So I would love to do memory or an experience. I only have one. I got 2 blues, but let's go for the experience again. It's going to be useful later on. So blue, we need a green. So this is going to be 1, which kind of works out. This is going to be 2. So that gives us the experience pattern and a yellow pattern. And we'll just move this to here for 3. And this to here for 4. So that's going to give us the experience pattern. It's going to get us a yellow. And I think that'll set us up. Set us up nicely. Okay, cool. Trace done, refill done, programming done, action phase. Going to the blue player first. Basically, we can just choose from 2. We can go anywhere on the map. I think I'm going to go here to the main frame. Oh, my dog needs a pet. And then we're going to use the district to prepare one. So we're going to draw one out, which go here to blue. Ends up being a blue, actually. We're going to place it. So I put it over here, just kind of on its own. That's a district effect. Then we can launch. Or actually, well, is there any way for me to? Oh, yeah, you know what? No. That's not what I want to do. We're gonna go here. Because program 3 is going to let me do 3 moves. So I can do 1, 2, 3 for the district effect. Yeah, that's definitely a better way. I know that was learned information, but I wasn't being very smart. And this is just a prologue, so I'll be more start, after the prologue, since we're still all learning together. Then we launch. So make sure we're right. Blue, green. Blue, green. Oh, wait, nope. Let's move that back. I screwed it up. It should have been like this. That's what I was trying to do. So we're going to do that. So that's 1 experience. Boom, boom, boom. 3 yellows. There's 3 reds. So we go up here. Get another experience here. That is all we can launch. Yes. Okay, cool. Now we're doing the same thing here. Don't want to. Is there anything I want to do to switch assets? I think I am. I think I'm going to go here. Oh, shoot. Sorry. I was here. I'm going to go here with red. Spend 1 asset to gain another asset. I'm going to keep the shields. I'm going to drop a reroll to gain a memory. And then, so that was my move and trace and district effect. Then we launch and red. So we've got, make sure we're right here. So again, it can't be mirrored. So we'd have to kind of flip this over. We've got blue, green, yellow, red, blue, green, yellow, red. So this goes boom, 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 boom. The next P. And then we'll go ahead and launch this yellow, which gives us a reroll. Cool. That is the action phase. Then we go to combat. Now, blue has no combat. All right, we don't have to worry about that. Red does. So, again, we take our 2 dice for our enemy, 1 for our body. We don't have... oh, you know what? Let's go back. Completely forgot. Remember, in our launch step, we can do these. We're going to do this in our launch step, which is a red and a core, so that's 2 reds. So that's right there. That does 2 damage. We could roll a die to do additional damage, but we only need 2 more to kill it. So actually, oh shoot. That goes away, and he gets another XP. So we don't actually even have to do combat. It's all these little things, man. All these little things. It's a super fun game. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Okay, quest. Go check the quest. If all the players have enemies... If all players have no enemies attached, that's the case. Each player takes a class augment deck of the same color as their player board. Okay, so... Red's going to take the Reaper class, apparently. Blue is going to take the Whisperer class. All right. Wait a minute. Yeah, class augment deck, yeah. Equip them. Each player draws 1 random learning protocol. Okay, so we get our starting. So let's start with who's first player? Blue. So let's start with blue. So we have these classes. So this is our starting one. Now remember, there's actually 3 different ones, right? So it's kind of confusing. We want the one that is just starting. We're not doing co-op, and we're not doing solo or PvP. Actually, okay. So what we're gonna do I had to look this up because I want to make sure, because it's kind of confusing, right? Because there's 3 starting ones here. Starting, solo, PvP. So we're going to get rid of solo PvP. It told us to do that specifically. So then we've got 2. Now you can either just starting protocol or co-op. So really the difference is, I think these are kind of like, from what I can tell, geared towards like something for you. Well, but that says, let me check. Okay, it's not very clear, honestly. So we're just gonna pick whichever one we want. So we've got basically 2 options. We've got Cloud Network, which lets you let somebody else during the planning phase program additional steps, and then you get basically an additional step. Or we can do Reconstruction, where you spend a memory and somebody gets a health. Now, those are both pretty good. I feel like Cloud Network's probably the way to go. Now, remember, when I get this doesn't go here automatically, right? Because we haven't actually equipped it. We just got it. So it's not an augment that we can put down here to use. It's essentially just going to go to our hand, and then we can spend memory. Now, when we get to the phase, you see that's a 0. So basically it's free, right? But technically we can't put it out there yet. And then this deck now is going to go over. We're going to shuffle this up. And so now if we want to draw from, use our experience, right, to draw, then we'll draw from this augment deck. Now we do the same thing for the red player. And the red player, we get rid of the solo PvP. All right. And so we have 2 options here. We have termination code. So termination code in combat, if they have 3 or less health, we can just straight defeat them. Or energy strings. Other players on your current and adjacent tiles have +1 attack when a player who benefits from this defeats an enemy during combat phase. So with Reaper, I can basically boost them, and if they defeat, boost them if they defeat something, I get a bonus. I think I'm gonna take termination code, and again, it's a 0, so I'll take termination code. The other one's not bad. It's just I don't necessarily know that we'll always be beside each other. So, and these are going to persist, right? So, now what I will do is that starting co-op card, and I'll do this for the Whisper. I'm going to throw it in here into the stack, since I can't really tell based on anything I've read what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to keep it in there, so it's potentially one we could get later on when we draw. But I'm just going to shuffle those up. Get them over there. All right, cool. So we have done that. Each player draws 1 random learning protocol. All right, so learning protocols, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Each player draws 1 random, and then read the scenario sheet instructions go to. So this will be for blue. So this is his protocol. So it is do some gaining a memory, equip an augment, and then, oh gosh, step 3, have at least 5 augments equipped. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But, okay. Wow, that's crazy. All right, and then red is going to have this one. So launch a pattern, attack pattern, spend an energy to defeat an enemy. and then launch 2 attack patterns during a single launch step. Right. And then that basically lets us, if we do that, if we get to the end, get a lot of assets. So, okay. Cool. That takes care of that. And that, I believe, is all we need to do for that. And then we've got a decision to make, right? We have, you think you can change bodies, and one's better suited for a fight would be nice. Draw card AO3. You don't know much about the technological state of the world. It's time to update your database. Draw card AO4. Let's let fate decide. As I've seen, I don't know. Those are both good options. Let's do 1 to 3. It's going to be the first option, 4 to 6. Second option, okay, it's the first option. You think you can change bodies, and one's better suited for a fight would be nice. Draw card AO3. So this card gets discarded. All right. So here we go. New bodies. Fighting the drones has exhausted you, hindering your speed and agility. Fearful of being followed, you must remain vigilant. You're puzzled by the presence of trivial advertisements, wondering why anyone would care about a shampoo when deadly robots roam. The AI's intention to wipe out humanity, and the course of your mysterious slumber leaves you with a sense of unease. Every move triggers motion sensors and lights. Bandaged shops beckon with distracting whispers. To stay concealed, you must become skilled. That'd be helpful if it's in the center. And manipulating your surroundings and erase any evidence of your presence. Set time to 3. So we're going to go up here and set this to 3. Boop, boop, boop. Each player places a cube in slot 0 of their trace track, which we already did. I already did that before. Read the scenario instructions. AO3A. So if we look at AO3, it says refer to trace and roll. Set up the body market. So this is going to actually give us bodies, right? And then refer to body cards, 3J section, refer to the upgrade section. Okay, yeah. So basically now we're starting to get more of this stuff, right? So I'm going to take these out. So I'm just going to put these on the bottom. All right, so now we've got to set up the body market. So I'm going to grab the body cards. All right, so here's the bodies. Give it a shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And we set it up. It says, what did it say? Number of players +1. So we're going to have 3 of these sitting out here. So let's get rid of that. That's the discard. So first body is the Outlaw. We have this body place 1 out. That's a special one from the Kickstarter. That's cool. So the Owlman, the Hacker, and finally the Rogue. So there's the body market. See, actually, let's move this down a little bit for you. Okay. All right, there's the body market. So now what that means is we'll be able to potentially, if we can get in this orientation, we can get these programs. If we can launch something in that orientation, we get that body as a potential body that we're in, and then we can inhabit that body by going to a place like the shelter. Yeah. So what do we got here? So this hacker's just going to let us get a free, that's pretty good, a free action to fire off something on the enemy card. And then the passive is anytime we gain a data token, which normally goes into the dump, we can actually put it on our launcher wherever we want to, which is great. Move 3, 2 attack, program 6, so it's got a little good programming there. So damage, normal damage with a single one, so that's not that huge of a difference. the Owlman, so basically we can, with him, we've got 2 move, 2 attack, programming 5. He's hard to get, but we get Owl tokens. And so basically each time we inhabit it, we get a token that we can use to not do combat, essentially, if we want to choose to do that, which is nice. Then we have the Rogue. Each time you deal any amount of damage to an enemy, prepare 1. So that's going to let us get more stuff on our board, which is pretty cool. A move 3, an attack of 3, programming 5, so decent on programming. But 2 of the advanced attacks too, so that's not too bad at all. That's actually pretty good. All right, we did that. All right, world activity, find new bodies. So basically what we're doing here is our world activity is we've got to get bodies. So we're going to have to essentially 3 turns to get configurations like this, in order to get bodies. And if we don't do that in that time, if it goes to 0, we lose an asset basically until we get that done. So we need to get that done in 3 turns. But what you will notice is it does not say that we ignore trace and all that. So now that is a factor. So at this point, we're really kind of playing with the full rule set. So I'm going to stop the video right here. It's kind of the introduction, and it's been, oh my God, it's been 1 hour and 43 minutes. That's insane. I've done a lot of talking, probably too much talking. But we're going to stop it right here. And part 2 will be forthcoming, where we'll finish this out. We'll get the bodies. There's really not that much left, just another card or 2. So the other one will be pretty short, I imagine. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. This is Justin from the Board Game Losers, with Tamashi, Chronicle of Ascend from Awakened Realms Light. And I hope you enjoy this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Guys and gals, let's go ahead, continue on this thing here. So, what we've got going on now from this point forward, what is our objective? Let's go over that again right quick. Our goal is to find new bodies. So basically, we've got 3 turns for each of us to get a body. So that's what we're going to be kind of focusing on, is these 3 bodies up here. We're going to start now having kind of, I guess you would say, more of a regular turn, because from this point on, you can see our goals don't say anything about, tracing or anything like that. So at this point, we're actually going to be playing that just like normal. So we're going to be having to do trace and potentially roll and do all that sort of jazz. So definitely things we need to consider. We've already looked at the learning protocols, so we're going to go ahead and start with that. So we're going to go ahead and start with a turn order. Now remember, at the top, we do the trace and roll step. We don't have any trace that we have to do yet. We got the refill and launch, and then we can do upgrades. Now, because we've got, some experience under us, we're going to be able to do that. Now, the interesting thing is, it says, you got to remember this upgrade is anytime during a resolve. We can resolve that anytime during this phase. So if we want to do something like, for example, add data tokens or something to these guys, we can do that now and go ahead and do that before we do like refill the launcher, so that we get those into our dump, for example. So what we're going to do, I think, is we'll do each of these just like we have been. We're going to start with the blue player. So over here on the blue player, we've got 2 experience. Now remember, we have memory. This memory is what we can use to install these augments. And if you remember, This is the augment we got. Got last time. It has a memory of 0, so we're going to go ahead and put that in here. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And there's all that. And that's important because during this phase is when we do the programming and we do the planning step. So, and that's what this phase is. This whole phase is planning. So when we do the program, it happens during the planning phase, and it's the program steps. This is actually going to let us do some programming. So that's going to get for 0 memory. So that's good. And then we got 2 experience. And I think for the 2 experience, we're going to go ahead and I think the best thing to do probably just go ahead and spend that 2 experience to increase our life. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and spin that. So now we can do the rest of it. So we do a no trace roll. Ooh, not supposed to be there. So then we draw, and we're going to fill. So yellow, okay. Blue, okay. Another yellow. We could do something if we got a blue. Okay, it's kind of like the wrong place for a blue. Oh, there's another blue. All right, so that is all of our spots that we can do anything with. So remember, our goal is to get another body. So what I'm thinking, wow, those are all far away. But we do have, maybe for the rogue, we could do something. Because we've got a red, blue, yellow. Red, blue, yellow. So that would be easy to do. And we might be able to get the red down here somewhere. Maybe. Or we've got double blue, double yellow for this hacker. So let's maybe go. I'm thinking maybe if we go for the. Gosh, it's going to be tough. Ronin is just, it's going to be really tough. And we're going to be able to get basically 5 during this program step. We can use that to give somebody else 2. To give us 1. So, in this, the body market will, as we use them, it will refill. So, all right, let's go with something we think we can do. I think probably the rogue is the best chance we've got. I feel like. So we need, so we can see what we're working for. We're looking for this config. So let's see if we did it that way. It's not really going to be super helpful, is it? It's not going to be helpful. Well, that might be more helpful. That way. All right, let's try. I don't know, maybe try getting it in this orientation. That seems like extra moves though, don't it? It's probably gonna be the easiest thing to do. All right, so let's go for this orientation. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, this is it, isn't it? 4. Boom. We'll go ahead and use this. This is a chosen player programs. A chosen player programs 2. And it says if you chose another player, you may program 1. really, it says a chosen player program, so we could program two. And honestly, right now, if we look at the red side, we don't really have a whole lot of stuff over here, so that's not going to be super helpful. So let's actually let's just choose ourselves. So we can have a program two, and the only reason that I'm doing that really is because I want to get that. That's one, and this is two. I'm really just trying to get those off those spots, so the next time we have something happen, um, we've got more spaces to fill with a launcher. Cool. So that's the launch step. We've done the experience. We've done the programming. We've done all the upgrading we can do. And remember, the other thing that we're trying to do at this point is we want to try to uh, gain a memory. And it says from any source for our learning protocol. So we'll see what happens. So that takes care of the blue player. Let's go to the red player. And I'm actually going to set this over here with him just since I know that's what we're trying to go for. Red player. All right, so remember the red player's got a whole lot of experience there. So I think what we're going to do with the red player is we're going to do something similar for the upgrading. We're going to go ahead and spend two here. But I think first we're going to grab two class augments. And when you purchase an augment, you draw two. Now I'm not very clear if these starting ones are supposed to be mixed in with these because the starting co-op, there's just starting and then starting co-op. I, I just mixed them both in. I mean, that's what I did. So that's what it was. So we'll draw the top two. So these are two options. Um, First one is very hard to read. Is it going to focus? Of course, it's not going to focus. First one is called Encounter Protocol Anytime. Costs one memory to attach it. Each time you attach at least one enemy, you may deal 2 damage. So that's pretty cool. And the other one is Energy Strings. Passive. Other players on your current adjacent district tiles have +1 attack. And basically, if they defeat enemies on their tile, with you there, when a player who benefits from this defeats an enemy, they can essentially get combat. So I think, honestly, for the most part, I think this encounter protocol is going to be what we go with, just because we're probably usually not going to be in the same place. So I'm going to put that on the bottom. Now, this does cost, remember, 1 memory to attach. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to attach it, and then we're going to go ahead and for 0 on this one, attach it. So we've got both of those protocols. So we went ahead and did that before we did anything else. So now let's go ahead and do trace roll, which of course we don't have to do any trace roll. So now let's do the fill the launcher step and see what we got going on here. Wow, a lot of green right there together. That's kind of crazy. Got a whole bunch of stuff out here in the dump that's gonna have to go in the bag because we just ran out of tokens. So we're gonna put all these back in the bag and do that. Give it a shake and mix it up a little bit, and then draw out the last two. And 2. Okay. So we don't have any kind of patterns that we're looking for super specific unless we want to just get experience. Got way off from the experience, aren't we? Although the blues and yellows, I think the blues and yellows would be the easiest thing to do for this one because it's just 2 blues and 2 yellows. We've got 4, right? So if we do one, we switch 2, 3, 4. That will get us, yep, that'll get us what we want right there. So I think we're going to stick with that because that'll actually let us equip that. So at this point, I think we've seen everything, most everything there is to offer. So I'm going to do things a lot more quicker and a lot less, hopefully a lot less explanation. Of course, you know me. I'll probably do more explanation than I really need to, but we'll see what happens. All right, so that is the planning phase. Now we go to the action phase. And in the action phase, we're going to remember this is where we're going to still be moving around. And this is where we're going to be moving our people. And we are going to take into account like the trace values, right? So we're going to start with the blue player who's up here. Now, I like program 3, but I don't like 5 trace for sure. That's super expensive. I don't really want to change bodies necessarily. But honestly, that's the cheapest trace at this point. So I think I'm actually am going to move here with 2. And I do have a movement of 2. So that takes care of that. Would add 1 trace. So we'll go over here. Because we're on that tile, we add 1 on our trace track because we moved to it. And remember we get 1 because we moved to it, right? If we had started here and stayed here, we would get the 2, but we didn't. Then we do the district effect. At this point, I'm not interested in changing the core data, so we'll leave that. And then we do the launch. When we launch, we're going to be able to launch this. Oh, let's go back to the blue. We're going to be able to launch this pattern, right? That's the red, blue, yellow with, oh no. Wait a minute. I screwed up, didn't I? Okay, so hold on. We're going to move, we'll move that back. These should have been reversed. My apologies. That's what I was trying to, okay, so there we go. That's an easy fix. That's what I was going for. So we'll launch these. Boom, boom, boom. Goes in there. It's going there. And now we have this rogue body. And I'm just going to put it up here because we haven't inhabited it. And here is, I think, the rogue mini, as far as I could tell. So we'll put that right there. That's the only thing that we could launch with a launch step. And hey, there you go. We're going to go to the red player next. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And honestly, now, I really wish that I'm going to be focusing with the other one to get an experience or defeating an enemy. On here, you remember our learning protocol. Let's go back to the red player. Our learning protocol has to do with launching a specific pattern with the enemies. So I think at this point, I'm probably going to do the same thing. Yeah, I think I'm just for now, I'm going to move over here, do the same thing. Whoops. I guess you probably need to see that, don't you? I'm going to do this. I'm just going to move over here because that's the lowest trace. If I didn't already have the bodies set up where we could get them, then I would probably do something different. But since we have the bodies, that's what we're going to do. So then we're going to do our launching our program. And again, this is our hacker. We need 2 blues, 2 yellows in that config. So there's 2 blues, boom, boom. 2 yellows, boom, boom. There we go. And so now we have that body. What I should do, though, is I need to put out 2 more of these. So we have the Visionary came out after we took the first body. Move 2, attack 2, program 6. We can do some preparation. And then we can dump our color to do damage, or our core color will do damage. And before we attack, we can change our colors. That's interesting. That's a cool way to do it. And the next one is the Scout. So move 3, attack 2, get some rerolls, programming of 5. After move and trace, you may reduce trace by 1. So he's a lot better at kind of keeping that trace level down. So that's cool. So those are the ones that are now. Because remember, you can have up to 2 bodies, right? So, right now we just have 1, but you could potentially have 2 if you wanted to do that. Okay, so that is. That's red. That is. That's it. That's all there is. There is no combat, fortunately. So we look at the player activity step. Our goal. If all players have body cards, they do, right? All players have body cards. It says all geared up. You feel decently prepared to tackle upcoming challenges. Each player gains 2 experience. So that's cool. So the next time around, we'll basically be guaranteed to be able to do something. Oh, you know what? I never spent the extra experience on the red person. I just did the red. Oh, man. Okay. And then it says we also gain 3 memory. So blue player, it's going to max him out at 5. And for the red player, actually, that's going to max him out at 5 too. Okay. Cool. And draw 1 class augment. So we each just get a class augment. So the red player gets Circuit Melter. Each time you launch a faction augment pattern, you may deal 2 damage. 1 memory to equip. Each time you launch a faction augment pattern. Now these are classes, okay? These are not factions. So this isn't going to help us immediately, necessarily, but once we get factions, it is. And then the blue player is going to get this data cloning. Each time you spend a memory to gain a basic data token, you may gain an additional token of the same type. Each time you spend memory to gain because remember in the upgrade stage, if you remember, and also just as remember, these go into our hands, right? These don't actually get equipped. These are just in our hands to equip with memory. But one of the things we can spend memory on is to gain a basic data token and place it in your dump. So we can actually get 2 of these using this data cloning. So we get a lot more tokens. Cool. And draw 1 class augment. We did that. And then the next card that we draw is card A05. And, alright, Flash and Steel. Ooh, this is not... Ooh, this is going to be rough. Alright, so I just put this right here so you get a picture of it if you need it. If you want to pause it and read it. The whole body changing and augmenting your software instead of learning makes you uneasy, treating your mind like a piece of software, transferring it, augmenting it. Are you even human? It all feels wrong, but at the same time empowering, becoming someone else in a matter of seconds. You're out in the street again, and almost immediately a noise attracts your attention. You see a young man running frantically, failing to outrun two droids. They close in on him and strike mercilessly at his back. His lifeless body hits the ground with a wet sound. You're not even sure if he's dead or if his mind is now somewhere in the net seeking another vessel. From your angle, all you see is a mechanical arm picking up the synthetic shell to take it away. The other droid spots you and charges. You're prepared to meet your end as two people appear out of nowhere, blocking the droid's path. They look well armed, their skins glimmering with metallic wires, their heads hidden under heavy helmets. Unfortunately, more droids are approaching from a distance. This will be one hell of a fight. It says, immediate effect. Each player discards all attached enemies, then draws and attaches two enemies from the bottom of the enemy deck. Read the scenario sheet instructions A05A. So, we don't have any attached enemies. So the enemy deck, what it said as far as to create these, if in the setup instructions, let's go back and just review those right quick. That's on the here. So the AO5 special rules, this talks about reset. So that basically if we get killed, but in the special rules, the enemy deck was all level 1 and level 2 enemy cards. And we've placed those one on top of the other, which means, unfortunately, we're going to get, it says the bottom of the enemy deck, if I remember right. There's two enemies from the bottom of the enemy deck. Yeah, so we're going to be getting a bunch of we're each going to be getting 2 level 2 enemies. So let's go ahead and draw those. All right, and let me tell you, the enemy deck is super, super thick. Because I have everything from our expansion, but we're drawn from the bottom, so you can see we've got the level 1s, and then you got the level 2s on the bottom. So we'll start with the, I guess we'll start with a red player, I guess. So you get 2 enemies, so we're going to draw the bottom 2 cards out of that. For him, we'll set those right here, and then just the other 2 for the red player, or blue, what did I say, blue first, then red. I guess since that's the order, makes more sense. So blue player gets, oof, wow, these are rough. Yeah. And so these are the enemy purifier. 10 health total, 2 damage for his normal attack. And then he loses 2 life in the district if it's the special attack. He's got a couple of launches. All players on your district tile recover health, so you have a way to get health back. And then if you have a lot of damage, when we do this launch step, that's going to be a way to do an additional damage for each one missing. So the more damage we are, the easier it is to kill him. And then, of course, if we can do this, this is basically the oh crap run step. Wow. Okay, so that's the first enemy card that attaches to him. The second one is the Pulverizer. 11, 3 damage. Holy jeez. If it does a special, that's 4 health. That's like a single shot. Hit a couple launch steps, we can deal 3 damage and roll a die, and potentially deal 3 more damage if we roll high. So, okay. This yellow and that's the any color symbol, gain 2. No, actually, it's not the any color symbol. I take that back. That is that specific. That is that you have to have that for specific data token. This is the any. The question mark is the any color. So you have to have an open data token beside a yellow to do that. Or, of course, we can do whatever our core color is, then any 2 colors to discard. Of course, we'll get a corruption, but it may be worth it, at least initially. So those are going to go on the blue player. So flip over here to the blue player. We'll place those right there. So that's how we'll evaluate those when we get to that step. Wow. Okay. And then for the red player, let's see what the red player got. Hopefully it's a little bit less atrocious. All right, so we have, actually, let's go back over here. This is a better camera. We have the Oracle. Wow. Wow. All right, so 13 health. Is it at a level 2? Jesus, that is a level 2. Does 2 damage. Is special. The top enemy recovers 1 health, and then you take 3. Golly, that's crap. 2 launch steps. Dump any number of your color to deal 2 damage for each dumped. Okay, which would be red for him. And that's anything beside a green. We can prepare 3 if we had an open data token. Then we need a blue, red, and anything else, 2 of anything else to discard. Basically, run away. That's the first one. The second one, Charger, 9 health, 3 damage on its attack. We get rid of all our cover from a launcher for a special attack. That's gross. And then we can basically get rid of these open tokens to do 3 damage each. And then, so he's a little bit higher health, but you can do a lot of damage, and it's pretty easy combo there to get the corruption to throw him off. So that's going to go, wow, to the red player. That is insane. Now, it says each time you attach, remember our protocol, each time you attach at least 1 enemy, you may deal 2 damage. So actually, that Oracle then is going to start out. Well, that's cool. It kind of works out. It's actually going to start out with 4 damage on it. Holy smokes. Yeah. That's pretty good. So I'm going to put 4 damage. So out of 13, now it's at 9, right? So it is. Oh, that's definitely helpful. Hopefully, yikes. Hopefully it won't be too bad. So our instructions for the rest of the scenario card, just the back, our goal, we have to defeat enemies. We put a check mark on the scenario sheet when we do that. If we repel, that is what that corruption is when we run away. We place that on a scenario sheet. If we reset, we put 2 of those on the scenario sheet, and then we get a corruption token. It says if there's at least 2 buy tokens of any kind, so basically if there's 4 tokens, the battle is finally over. We draw card AO6. Otherwise, it's going to give us kind of a little boost with 2 damage to each enemy on the top during the world step. So, that is crazy. And you'll notice, too, they didn't say anything about time. Right? I think it said... no, that's not what I'm looking at. It didn't have a set time to anything, so there's no time limit on this. Basically, we just have to keep chewing through these until we defeat them. Right. So,